But the less punishment we take, the longer we last in the sport. Because you know, I was in this 21 years, so you're gonna be okay because you got the skills. And at the end of the day, as you get older, the power's gonna come.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego Unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Bad news for Devin Haney. Teofimo Lopez will likely have to face his mandatory, and it is likely to be called soon. Find out how it exactly connects to Devin Haney in this video. Now, I noticed this on Jack Catterall's page. He said he's ready to go, and he tagged the WBO, who just switched pretty much the president of the WBO, right? So he said he's ready to go. What is he responding to? There's a tweet that says, WBO confirmed that Teofimo Lopez will have to face his mandatory next, but they haven't determined who. Ramirez versus Barbosa winner is a possibility, but so is Jack Catterall. The WBO could order an eliminator, and then they tag Sam Jones, who's, I believe, the manager of Jack Catterall, and he's with Eddie Hearn. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking. You're saying, oh, but Ego, what do you mean? Bad news for Devin Haney. You're hating. Let me explain. The reason why you don't understand that it's bad news for Devin Haney is you haven't done the math like I have. Because I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. So what does this mean? There's a couple things. And I don't know exactly how it'll play out, but I've done the math. And this is why I say bad news for Devin Haney. Devin Haney is coming off of a grueling fight where he was dropped several times at the hands of Ryan Garcia. It was overturned. Ryan had Ostarine in his system, but it hasn't erased the memories and the anguish and what fans have seen. So Devin's next fight is going to be an important one. I've already kind of went over that in past videos. That's step one. So basically Devin's coming off a bad performance and his next fight could be do or die. Devin Haney took to social media and said something to the effect of Turkey Al-Sheikh is the only one that could get the Jack Catterall fight done. But when Jack Catterall beat Regis Prograis, your boy Ego, aka Ego Stradamus, pointed this out. I said, Devin Haney coming off of that Ryan performance, not defending against Sandor Martin, losing his WBC belt, and Sandor Martin's now fighting Puello. So he's not a champion. Why would Jack Catterall, who's within the WBO rankings, top rankings, and has a version of the WBO belt, he's in line to fight Teofimo, or at the very least, as that tweet illustrated, maybe he fights in an eliminator versus the winner of Jose Ramirez versus Arnold Barbosa Jr. So either way, why would you fight Devin Haney if you're that close to potentially getting a WBO consolidation and actual full body title, which has to be a dream after fighting the Linadeses, fighting Josh Taylor, getting robbed, rematching Josh Taylor and hurting him, dropping him, beating him, dropping Regis Prograis twice after being jobbed. I mean, Eddie Hearn has basically said he owes Jack Catterall a big fight and a title fight. So again, Devin's brand is not holding a lot of weight right now based on the Ryan Garcia fight and subsequent choices after that fight. Fighting at the OC County Fair, electing to sue Ryan Garcia. So he's not really in the favorable light. He's not a champion. And this spells trouble because who is he going to fight? People thought that Devin versus Jack Catterall would be a reasonable comeback fight. But again, you would have to pull Jack Catterall off of the track that he's already on, which is either likely a title eliminator or maybe even Teofimo Lopez straight away for the WBO title. So you do the math. Eddie Hearn, who just got in a verbal altercation and argument because Devin Haney said he was the fakest ninja in the room, and Jack Catterall is his fighter. He knows his fighter has been going through the steps, earning his keep, beating Taylor's, beating Prograis, and is now, very close to a WBO shot, title shot. Why would you throw him in with Devin Haney? The fight is not a massive fight. It would be almost like a waste of money. Post-fight, you even heard Eddie Hearn, he said, let's have Teofimo and bring him to the UK. That's Eddie Hearn's words after Jack Catterall beat Regis Prograis. He didn't say anything about Devin Haney. So once again, like I said at the beginning of this video, you guys haven't done the math. This is why I'm saying, to me, it looks like it spells trouble, because Devin needs a comeback fight. People were throwing out the Jack Catterall name because he just beat mutual Devin Haney opponent Regis Prograis, and Devin was saying, oh, I ruined Regis Prograis and he should retire, yada, yada, yada. But Jack Catterall might be off the table because he, A, fights Teofimo Lopez, which makes more sense, especially if Teo is willing to travel to the UK, or B, maybe fight Jose Ramirez versus Barbosa winner in an eliminator to get to Teofimo Lopez. And trust me, because I know there's going to be some idiots in the comment section that they're going to try to outsmart me and say, hell, your logic doesn't make sense. And they're going to say, what if Teofimo moves up? Clearly he's in some kind of litigation with Top Rank, not happy there. What if he just vacates the belt? What if he moves up to 147 pounds? So if he moves up to 147 pounds, what does that mean? That means the title becomes vacant, and Jack Catterall, who has a version of the belt, he might automatically get elevated to the full champion. Or again, he may have to fight a eliminator, right? He might have to fight an eliminator with Ramirez versus Barbosa winner, as I said earlier in this thing. So tell me how Devin Haney fits into these plans. Catterall he keeps beating like pretty known guys like Linares, Josh Taylor in the rematch, and Regis Prograis. He's the WBO international super lightweight champion. So he's pretty much a click or so away from a title shot. So I personally think that a Teofimo fight with Catterall, if they could get it done, makes more sense. Or an eliminator like that tweet suggests. Devin Haney, tell me how this fits in. So you think at this point, Teofimo, who's a champion, actually has a belt at 140 still. If he went to the UK, you think that fight would be smaller versus Jack Catterall, and Devin Haney coming off the Ryan Garcia fight would be bigger? This is why I said bad news for Devin Haney, because the way I see it, Devin Haney doesn't look like the likely suitor who will be matched against Jack Catterall from what I'm seeing. And that's the name, it's like really the only name that he recently called out. He said Ryan refused to sign up for VADA, or his dad said it, within 48 hours. So he said that's a dub, and they're not fighting Ryan Garcia, plus Ryan suspended. And the only person he called out was Jack Catterall. And he says, be careful what you wish for. And he said Turkey could get the fight done. But again, to me, I don't know in the pecking order if that is even likely based on all the information that I provided in this video, especially when the WBO has confirmed that Teo is going to have to fight his mandatory. So I would imagine his mandatory would either be Jack Catterall, who has the WBO International Super Lightweight title, or it would be Golden Boy fighters, right? Which would be Jose Ramirez versus Barbosa winner, which leads me to my additional problem. Like I said, y'all haven't done the math. The other issue is this. Even if they did an eliminator between Ramirez and Barbosa winner and Catterall, right? That makes sense. The other thing is Ramirez and Barbosa are both Golden Boy fighters. So you got to connect the dots. Pay attention. Keep up. They say I talk a little fast. If you listen real fast, I ain't got to slow down for you to catch up, right? Who is Ramirez and Arnold Barbosa signed to? Oh, that's right. Golden Boy Promotions picked them up. What does Golden Boy Promotions have to do with Devin Haney? If you pay attention to the news cycle in recent months. Oh yeah, that's right. Devin Haney is suing Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya. So again, no matter if it's Catterall or Ramirez Barbosa winner or an eliminator, this spells trouble. And I made a video about this, but a lot of you guys were too dumb to give credit and bow down that I have this game mapped out. And the video was about Devin Haney burning bridges with promoters by, certain things that him and his team were doing. For Eddie Hearn's part, you just got into an altercation, verbal altercation, and basically called him a snake, called him two-faced, and said he's the fakest person, the fakest ninja that you know. So you have to understand, people hold grudges. Just because you guys probably said everything was cool and squashed it, that's not always how it works. And again, Eddie Hearn has Jack Catterall at 140 pounds, right? So Eddie Hearn, he's already made that very clear. He has no allegiance and he has no reason to show preferential treatment to Devin Haney versus his own rematch room fighters when Devin Haney is not signed to him directly, right? So best believe he's going to try to look after his fighter, Jack Catterall, and his best interest. The company, Matchroom, and Jack Catterall. So if that means Teofimo or Ramirez Barbosa winner or whatever that is, I think Eddie Hearn is going to try to likely stage a fight between, maybe bring one of those guys to the UK and make the best move for Jack Catterall, not Devin Haney. And then, like I just said, on the flip side, you have the other promoter that Devin Haney and his team have gotten into it with, which is Golden Boy. And you hear Oscar De La Hoya doing these clapback Thursdays, dissing the Haneys and saying, "Oh, Devin, you're pathetic. The fight just didn't sell. You can't sell. Ryan Garcia, he kicked your ass. He beat you down. You can't sell, my friend," right? So you're beefing with the two people that were likely, you would have to go through probably one of them for the fight that you said you wanted, which is Jack Catterall, right? Now, I know I've broken it down into small digestible parts if you pay attention. If not, rewind this track and picture me rolling. This is why it is important and imperative that you have a great team around you, because your actions, your moves in this business, how you move, if you burn bridges, if you get blackballed, if people freeze you out because you were trash talking, it could very well come back to bite you. And the way I see it, and I've told you why I see it this way in this video, it looks problematic for Devin Haney. Let's go a little bit deeper. Devin Haney was ordered by the WBC to fight his mandatory Sandor Martin. He had just came off the Ryan Garcia fight. WBC said, "Oh well, you need to fight Sandor Martin. He's been waiting. You already paid him step aside money. I can't keep this guy waiting." Top Rank bid on the fight. Eddie Hearn didn't even bother to bid on the fight. He explained why, and I made videos when it happened. He says, "I'm not bidding on that fight because we at DAZN don't like the fight with Sandor Martin and Devin Haney. It didn't interest us." Guess who did bid on the fight? Oh yeah, that's right. Bob Arum and Top Rank. Not only did they bid, they won the purse bid, right? So they secured the rights for the fight. What did Devin do? He requested to become a champion in recess, ultimately wasting Top Rank's time And then now, and Top Rank probably thought they had a good fight with Haney and Sandor Martin on ESPN, but then Devin chose another route and didn't do business with them. So you're consistently burning your bridges with different promoters. Top Rank, suing Golden Boy, beefing with Eddie Hearn. I don't understand the direction. And then to add to that, you don't have a very well-established relationship with Al Heyman, right? You're not in the driver's seat to fight Tank. Plus, it looks like Tank's fighting Lamont Roach. So you have no seniority with PBC, right? So who's going to bail Devin Haney out? Where's his next fight? He said he was fighting in December, right? You're expecting Turkey to get it done. Oh, Turkey's the only one that can make this fight, which is also kind of a diss at Eddie Hearn. But here's the kicker. Turkey may have money, but he doesn't have the stable. Turkey still has to go through promoters like Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn that do have the stable and Boxer, because he doesn't have a built-in stable with depth, because these are the guys that have been doing it for decades. So at the end of the day, their rosters have grown, and then he's kind of just getting into this since December 2023-ish, right? He doesn't have no stable. So I'm really curious to see what Devin's next move is. Ryan Garcia, no. Tank Davis, no. Beefing with Top Rank, yes. Beefing with Eddie Hearn, yes. Beefing with Golden Boy and suing them, yes. So like I said earlier, you guys haven't done the math, but I have. I know for a fact I've presented an excellent case to my concerns, and I've eloquently illustrated why they exist. And this is why it's important to have a smart team that knows what they're doing, so you can navigate through these waters and make more friends than enemies, because you can't burn a bridge and then need to walk across that bridge that you burnt. The bridge doesn't exist anymore, right? And that's kind of the way I see it. Now, can Devin Haney work with Eddie Hearn? Sure. They've worked together. Maybe he apologized for calling him the fakest person, but even the optics look bad. You just said, for whatever reason, what does this look like? You said that Eddie Hearn was the fakest person, and then you turned to him and want to work with him again, but you said he was the fakest person ever. So what does that make you if you run back to Eddie Hearn? That don't look good. The optics of that don't look good. So at best, it's an immature thing. And as a man, you have to be able to control and curb your emotions to not have these type of outbursts, or you have to be congruent with what you say. And if you say a person is the fakest person you've ever met, then you got to hold that. You got to stand on that. And why on earth would you thereafter go and work with them if you claim that they're the fakest people you ever met? You know, you can't just do these emotional tiffs and start riffs with people and think your words don't impact the long-term relationship. And Pete, most of what I said in this video was about the business side of it and burning relationships and maintaining and having good relationships with people you may need to work with again, and like, you know, sanctioning bodies and stuff that you need to work with again. So the time is ticking, the clock is ticking. Devin said he was going to fight in December. I'm not seeing it. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing him fight in December, because we're in November now and he hasn't even announced his fight. So who is it going to be? At best, unless you do like some kind of independent promotion, but I don't see how that really helps your career either. Like if you just do a small show and then put it together yourself, then it really indicates that the Ryan Garcia fight has definitely impacted your career in a negative way. Not to the point where I'm saying you should sue him, but if that's what it's come to, you do a show by yourself with no Eddie Hearn, no DAZN, you know, go to BLK Prime or something. That just shows that that Ryan Garcia fight was a huge miscalculation as far as I'm concerned. Because before, you had done shows with Top Rank, you had done shows with Golden Boy, you had done shows with Eddie Hearn, but then now you're in this weird, like, kind of no man's land of your career. Turn down Sandor Martin and let him fight somebody else, Puello. You turn down Liam Paro. Eddie Hearn said he wanted to make the fight in Australia. Liam Paro said Devin Haney's team requested silly money that was really not ridiculous. So he moves on, and now he's fighting Richardson Hitchens, which is a great fight on DAZN with Eddie Hearn, right? I just went over throughout this whole video, Jack Catterall, he got some options now. Maybe he gets Teofimo Lopez straight away. Maybe he gets and has an eliminator with Ramirez and Barbosa, who are already scheduled to fight with Golden Boy on, I think, on the Latino night. So either way you slice it, where does Devin Haney fit into any of this? That's what I'm trying to ask. When I say these things, people get mad. They're like, oh, Ego, you're hating and you're being mean. Bro, my job is not about hate versus love, being mean versus being nice. I'm here to do one thing and one thing only, which is to cover boxing to the best of my ability in my heart, soul, and spirit, and put out a clean and reliable product that contains my thoughts. That's it. And that's what I do. And I do it to the best of my abilities. And I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. So you guys figure out this mess of who Devin Haney is going to fight. Like I said, the only name that I've really heard him call out seriously, not like clout chase, oh, Ryan, you got 48 hours to do a drug test and all this stuff that we knew wasn't going to happen, or, oh, Turkey wanted the Teofimo fight, but he was scared, and not that. I'm talking about an actual call out. The only person is Jack Catterall, and the way things are lining up and lined up, I don't really see Devin getting Catterall next because he's on the WBO route, and I think he's very close, dangerously close to getting some look at a title or the step before a title shot. And I don't see what Devin Haney offers right now, all things considered. We unpack.